some weeks already. Some of you maybe not, but it's a fact. Our friend Lou is getting a very significant award today. So thank you all for taking a minute to be here. To present that award, I'm going to call on Mr. Tom Bankston from the Northwestern Financial Review. Tom?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to really thank Citizens Bank Minnesota for hosting this event. It's a real treat for me to come down and visit with you folks and give you a little bit of the background on this award, let you know how Lou was selected. Northwestern Financial Review is a trade journal covering the banking industry. It's got a rich history going back to 1894. So there are many people in the banking world whose parents and grandfather and great-grandfather knew of the magazine and hired people out of the magazine, got jobs out of the bank, bought and sold branches and banks and so forth through the magazine. So a rich history there. In 1989, we started this program to honor a outstanding banker. And we called that our Banker of the Year. And what we did is we called on our readers to submit the name of a bank president or chairman or owner. And typically what we're looking for is somebody who runs a very good, sound bank, a bank that has a history of profitability, but also somebody who is very active in their community and done a lot to make a positive impact on the place where they live. And also somebody who has been a significant positive influence on their industry. And a lot of times that means activity in their trade association, either on the state or the national level. And I do want to acknowledge the associations and their role in this. They have been supportive of our selections over the years, and I really appreciate that. And there are representatives here both from the Minnesota Bankers Association and the Independent Bankers of Minnesota. And again, their support of our effort in this magazine is very much appreciated, so I want to thank them for that. I just thought that I would mention real quickly that, as I mentioned, we started in 1989, so Lou actually is our 25th selection. It's our silver anniversary selection for this magazine. We're real proud of that. And out of the 25 selections, 9 of them have been from the state of Minnesota. Our magazine is read by bankers in 14 upper Midwestern states. So other winners have come from Iowa, both the Dakotas, Wisconsin. Most of our readership is in Minnesota, however, so the majority of our selections have come from Minnesota. I also want to thank and acknowledge the sponsor of the program. We are a magazine, we are a business, and we rely on sponsorship and support from a number of organizations, but this year State Bank and Trust, Bell Bank and Trust of Fargo, North Dakota, actually sponsored our program, and we very much appreciate that. So at this time, I'm actually going to present to Lou, if he would step forward, a framed copy of our magazine. So that's for you, Lou. I want to thank you and congratulate you on behalf of Northwestern Financial Review magazine. You bet.
Thanks, Tom. It's really an honor for me to receive this award. When Tom called me about a month ago to tell me about it, my first reaction was, oh boy. Those of you that know me, I try to avoid this type of thing. I like to stay under the radar. But I've known Tom for years. I know the respect that his magazine has in the industry and the respect that he has in the industry. And when I knew it was coming from the Northwestern Financial Review, I was very proud of being selected as Banker of the Year. So thank you, Tom. I really appreciate it. I've been very fortunate in my banking career. When I got out of college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. My family wasn't a banking family. I didn't have a lot of finance in my background at Bank of the State. But I interviewed with the FDIC and got a position with them. Told them in the interview I didn't know anything about banking, and that didn't scare them away. They hired me, but in the 6 years I spent with them, it was just a valuable experience to get out into probably over 100 different shops, meet a bunch of bankers in southwestern Minnesota, and get a feel for what works and what doesn't work. You meet a lot of interesting people, see things that work, things that don't work, you kind of make a note of it, and hopefully you can apply it later on in your career. But I've been fortunate to get away from the FDIC as well, because after 6 years of being on the road, it was time to get into a community bank. And when the opportunity came along to come over to New Ulm, I actually struggled with the decision. Having grown up in the Mankato area, it was hard for me. I struggled with moving to a smaller community. But it turned out that's probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, because moving to New Ulm, I just immediately loved the town. It's a great place to live, great place to raise a family. And the opportunity that I was given here at the bank is unbelievable. When I came here, I was the fourth in line. And I thought, well, okay, if I keep my nose out of trouble and work hard, maybe in 10 or 15 years they'd give me an opportunity to run the bank. Well, that opportunity came in 5 years when the president's position was open. And the board at that time took a chance on a 34-year-old kid when they could have easily gone outside and found somebody else to do this, and nobody would have blamed them. But they gave me a shot at it, and I've always been grateful for that. I've been working with different boards for 25 years now, and they've always been fair to me. They've always been good to work with, and they give me a lot of latitude running the bank, and I've been very appreciative of that. But I've also worked with some of the greatest people to work with that you could imagine. I've always bragged about the staff here as citizens. And people accuse us of putting things in the water, and we do. I have never had to ask for a volunteer for anything. And I think the people in town talk about us marching in parades, dancing in the lobby, and strange things like that. And, you know, if you hire good people, and if you can find a way to motivate them and then just get out of their way and let them do their job, good things happen. And so the staff here at the bank, the board of directors, really are as much responsible for this award as I am, because I think many of the things, Tom, that you singled out in selecting us are things that the bank has accomplished. And all of us are very proud of what our bank has done in the community and just in banking in general. And so all of us have been. Thank you very much.
We've got two other speakers. I'd first of all like to introduce to you Mr. Marshall McKay from the Independent Community Bankers of Minnesota. Marshall, will you say a couple words?
I would happily do that. Today is about Lou, not about the Independent Community Bankers of Minnesota. But I just have to tell you, Lou, on behalf of our board of directors, our staff, we could not be prouder to have you as a member. And I know that it's not just about the banking community, it's about the community in its entirety. So, congratulations, well-deserved honor.
Next, I want to introduce Mr. Joe Witt. Joe comes to us from the Minnesota Bankers Association. Joe?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I think I have one of the best jobs in the world. I get to work for the bankers in the state of Minnesota. They're great people. First and foremost, they do a great job of serving their customers. Secondly, they do an exceptional job of serving their communities. And when you see somebody like Lou get singled out to win an award like this from all the bankers out there in the 14 states that Tom talked about, you know that all of them are doing a great job with their customers. They're all doing a great job with their communities. They all try and make their workplace a fun place for all of their employees. When you see somebody get singled out, you know it's really special. So I want to congratulate Lou and all of you at the bank here for this great award. It really is well deserved. A lot of you know Lou from all of his community work, but I want to thank Lou too for everything he does with our association as well, just like Marshall did. Lou has been active with our committees. He served a 3-year stint on our board of directors. He's been very active with us, and he encourages his employees to be active with us as well. So we very much appreciate that. I want to thank Tom too for this award and for recognizing a Minnesota bank. This is a very, very prestigious award. I'm glad that you put it together. Let's give Tom a round of applause for his selection. Again, on behalf of the board and the staff of the NBA, congratulations.
couldn't get a hold of him in Uganda, so let's go with it. Whereas Northwestern Financial Review magazine, a Minneapolis-based community banking magazine covering 14 Midwestern states, has named L.H. Lou Geistfeld, President of Citizens Bank Minnesota, Banker of the Year for 2013, and whereas Mr. Geistfeld is the 25th Banker of the Year, which has been awarded every year since 1989, and whereas, to quote the magazine, in the last 6 years, while other banks have struggled to grow, Geistfeld and his staff have grown the bank by nearly a third, and whereas a one-time examiner who began his career in the black suit, black tie, and white Oxford uniform of the FDIC could have turned up his nose at his rambunctious staff, and whereas Bob Eichten saw the potential that Lou had and offered him an assistant vice president position with Citizens State Bank of New Ulm, and whereas Lou took his FDIC experience, supported his high-spirited staff, and added his own special banking skills to lead the bank to Citizens Bank Minnesota. Now therefore, I, Robert J. Boisman, Mayor of the City of New Ulm, Minnesota, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim the 14th day of January 2013 to be L.H. Lou Geistfeld Day in New Ulm, Minnesota, and on behalf of the citizens of this community, extend to Lou our sincere appreciation and thanks for his brilliant service and leadership, and offer him our hearty congratulations upon receipt of this prestigious and much-deserved award, and witness thereof, blah, blah, blah. I've got my hand up.
Does this mean I have your parking spot at City Hall for?
If I'm not there, go ahead.
Thank you, Bob. Lou? Lastly, on behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you for everything that you do for our bank. Congratulations on this award. Pretty neat to be honored by the industry that you dedicated your career to. We're proud of you. Thank you.
We have a King Louis recipient in the room.
This was one of the worst ideas.
For those of you in the room that are not aware of the King Louis Award, the King Louis Award was an award that was presented to staff here at Citizens Bank. A staff member was nominated by their peers for going above and beyond in attitude and participation here at work. And King Louis was actually retired in the year 2007 and has been locked up in a capsule that was not supposed to be opened until 2025. Well, obviously it's not 2025, but we found it very fitting that today we pull King Louis out of retirement to present to you, Lou, for your serious. I'm trying to be serious.